In the sterile corridors of a Bronx hospital, under flickering fluorescent lights, a cry shattered the silence. It was Papoose, the steadfast husband of hip-hop icon Remy Ma, a man known for his unwavering loyalty through trials that spanned jail time, industry feuds, and personal betrayals. Now, he was on his knees, sobbing, pleading with doctors to save his wife. The words that echoed back were chilling. "There's no heartbeat?" What unfolded in those harrowing hours wasn't just a medical emergency. It was a tangled web of suspicion, betrayal, and a possible conspiracy that shook the hip-hop world to its core. The story began in the early hours of a cold night when Remy Ma, the Bronx's lyrical queen, was rushed to the hospital at 3:14 a.m. via a private ambulance. This wasn't a standard 911 call. The request came from a burner phone traced to an associate of Claressa Shields, the boxing champion who had recently been linked to Papoose through his fitness transformation journey. Remy arrived in critical condition, disoriented, barely able to speak, with dangerously low blood pressure, rapid breathing, and dilated pupils. There were no visible injuries, no signs of trauma, just a body shutting down without explanation. Hospital staff noted something peculiar. Her admission report was labeled voluntary collapse, a term that doesn't exist in medical terminology. It raised immediate red flags. Insiders whispered that Remy's condition wasn't natural. One nurse, speaking anonymously, described her as looking drained, like her soul had left her body. There was no smell of alcohol or drugs, no clear cause for her collapse. Surveillance footage added to the mystery, showing Claressa Shields entering the hospital through a back exit minutes before the ambulance arrived. Dressed in black, without her usual entourage, she flashed a handwritten visitor pass and said, "I'm here for Reminisce." Remy's government name, a personal detail that suggested familiarity. She stayed for 12 minutes, then left without a word. Doctors managed to stabilize Remy briefly. In a fleeting moment of semi-consciousness, she whispered, "Tell Pat I'm sorry." Sorry for what? Before anyone could ask, her heart monitor spiked, then flatlined. Despite CPR, epinephrine, and defibrillator shocks, her pulse didn't return. Papoose arrived moments later, barefoot, in sweatpants, clutching a phone and a tattered notebook. Witnesses described him pushing past nurses, screaming, she wasn't supposed to be alone. As a doctor delivered the devastating news, the notebook slipped from his hand, revealing printouts of messages between Remy and someone labeled Spark Queen, a name tied to Claressa's camp on encrypted messaging platforms. Rumors swirled that Remy's collapse was more than medical. Sources close to the family claimed she had been emotionally shattered days earlier after overhearing a conversation between Papoose and Claressa. Allegedly, Remy stood behind a door as Papoose said, "She can't know yet." A blurry photo of Claressa and Papoose entering a Detroit hotel had surfaced online, sparking speculation despite their denials of anything beyond professional training. Claressa's cryptic post, "We're just training together," did little to quell rumors, especially given her attire in the photo. A robe, while Papoose looked defeated. As Remy's condition deteriorated, declared medically unresponsive, neither brain dead nor fully gone, Papoose refused to accept defeat. He made a cryptic call, not to family or a lawyer, but to a journalist from an underground hip-hop blog, instructing them to publish everything in the folder if Remy didn't survive. The folder, according to leaks, contained a damning collection. Text messages, screenshots, photos, voice notes, and financial records spanning 6 months. Among them were DMs between Claressa and Papoose, notes Remy wrote to herself, canceled studio sessions, and unexplained transfers from a joint account to a bank in Texas. One haunting note from Remy read, "I've survived worse, but betrayal, that's what's going to take me out." The hospital became a pressure cooker. Remy's mother collapsed in the waiting room upon hearing the flatline code. Her brother punched a wall, and a cousin was escorted out for confronting staff. Outside, fans gathered, lighting candles, singing Remy's lyrics and holding signs that read, "Remy, stay with us." Inside, hope faded as machines beeped slower. Then, a bombshell. 2 minutes after Remy's vitals flatlined, the hospital's private network flagged an unauthorized access attempt to her medical files. The IP address traced to Flint, Michigan, Claressa's hometown. Hospital IT flagged. It is suspicious, but a whistleblower claimed management suppressed the alert, possibly due to Claressa's $100 donation to the hospital's athletic rehab wing 6 months prior. Papoose demanded Remy be moved to a secure wing. but doctors cited her instability. Unconvinced, he called Detective Malik, a family friend and private investigator known for his tenacity. Malik uncovered a 3-minute window before Remy's collapse, where a visitor badge was issued to AL. Amber Lewis, Remy's former stylist and ex-best friend. Amber had fallen out with Remy months earlier after being spotted lunching with Clarissa. A staff member saw her leaving Remy's room that night, hoodie up, visibly shaken, muttering, "She's going to freak when she wakes up." But Remy didn't wake up. Not then. Social media erupted, fans connected dots, speculating about a setup. Posts flooded X. Amber and Clarissa? This is a Lifetime movie. No coincidence in the Bronx. Papoose fueled the fire, posting a grainy Instagram photo of a group chat titled Her Downfall, with members including CS and a blurred name resembling Jackson Mills, a tabloid editor notorious for leaking scandals. Malik's investigation deepened, confirming Amber visited the hospital 3 times that week without medical reason and received 4 $7,000 payments to an account labeled Love Jail, possibly a nod to a scrapped Remy track about betrayal. As doctors proposed a high-risk electrical stimulation procedure to restart Remy's neurological function, Papoose didn't hesitate. While they prepped, he stood outside her room, playing a voicemail from Remy. "If I end up in a hospital, don't be dramatic. Just play this, and remember I never stopped loving you." On the 3rd jolt, a faint beep broke the silence. Remy's fingers twitched. Papoose dropped to his knees, whispering, "She's in there!" Her heart was back, defying medical odds. The internet became a war zone. Fans turned detectives, unearthing hotel invoices, DMs, and a voice note from an account tied to Clarissa. She was always going to fold. "I just helped it happen faster." Papoose went live on Instagram, reading texts about dropping news after the next fight, a $2,500 payment to Amber labeled consulting, and Remy's own memo, "If something happens to me, I didn't give up. They broke me." Malik traced the hospital hack to a gym in Flint where Clarissa trained, prompting her team to issue a denial. Clarissa is supportive. These claims are defamatory. But sponsors began pulling away, and Amber's apartment was mobbed by media. Sense. Final twist came with Remy's memoir, Unwritten, The Truth They Didn't Want Me to Say. A leaked chapter described emotional manipulation by someone in gloves, a clear jab at Clarissa. Fans rallied with Nudge Protect Remy, flooding the hospital with letters and art. Billboards rose in the Bronx. 3 days later, Remy woke, weak but alive. Her first words, "Did he fight for me?" When Papoose nodded, she whispered, "Then I'm not going anywhere." In a raw, unpolished message, Remy addressed her fans. "Thank you to everyone who prayed. To those who tried to bury me, y'all. Forgot I'm from the Bronx. We don't die easy." Clarissa went silent. Amber vanished. And Jackson Mills resigned after issuing an apology. Papoose updated his bio. "She woke up. Now the world will." This wasn't just a health scare. It was a survival story, a betrayal exposed, and a warning. Remy Ma didn't just cheat death, she survived a calculated takedown. The folder's full contents remain unreleased, but the question lingers. Was Clarissa the mastermind, Amber a pawn, or both players in a game to erase a legend? As Remy recovers, the hip-hop world watches, knowing her next move will rewrite the narrative they tried to steal.